Namaskar and welcome to SARAMSHA. So today we are here with the summary of the book It Ends With Us. It ends with us. Reading this book till end makes us realize why Colleen Hoover named it as It Ends With Us. This title best suits the voice of the story. Story has the lead character Lily Blossom Bloom. She had just moved to Boston to start her life after college. When she was searching for a peaceful and open place where she could get all her inner suffocation out, she ended up meeting with a boy named Rel on a rooftop. Lily Bloom and Rel Kinsey, a neurosurgeon, introduced each other with their latest naked truth. Where Lily Bloom has a naked truth that her father died and she was forced by her mother to give eulogy, where she stayed silent because she has not seen any good things in her father to praise about. Whereas Rel Kinsey has a naked truth of two brothers playing at a house. One of a brother found a gun and playing with it accidentally hit his elder brother, an accident caused due to carelessness of their parents. A careless parents keeping a loaded gun where children could easily reach. Rel talked about the impact of that accident on little brother. The next naked truth was Rel wanted one night stand with Lily Bloom, where Lily Bloom does not want a temporary relation with anyone. Rel praises Lily's beauty. Rel got a call in the middle of talk and walked away. Lily Bloom was left alone on the rooftop. Lily Bloom lived with roommate Lucy. Her mother lived separately. And despite the accident, that Lily Bloom not speaking a word in her father's eulogy, her mother was not offended at her. She tries to understand Lily Bloom. Instead, as Lily had just moved in, so she was making her rooms and found boxes of diaries. Those were the journal which she used to write when she was young. Her journal used to address Ellen DeGeneres, who used to run a TV show. She wrote about Atlas on her journals. Her journal goes like this. She met Atlas on the way to school. After some days of following him, she found out that he used to live in an abandoned house near her home. That house has no electricity and water. Knowing that, how hard is it to live without electricity and water, Lily offered help to Atlas. And this is how the story of Atlas and Lily started. Atlas started to get sour on Lily's house, and she used to give her foods, daddy's clothes, and other necessaries to Atlas. As time passed by, Lily got to know that Atlas' father was not in the world, and his mother lived with his stepfather. Atlas and stepfather had once came into big argument and he was kicked out of the house. So he started living alone. In that phase he found that abandoned house which was near Lily's home. Lily and Atlas fell in love with each other. Lily loved gardening and Atlas loved to help her. They also started watching Ellen's show together. Besides this, she has mentioned about the abuse her father used to do to her mother. She had encountered her father beating up her mother many times. One day, her mother came home late. She parked her car in the garage The garage was enough for just one car. Her mother was getting groceries out from her car, and in the middle of this, her father arrived. Her father always used to park car on garage and mother on driveway. Lily was there helping mother to take groceries off the car. And here her father started pressing horn, warning her to clear the garage so that he could park his car there. Her mother was scared and in rush. She cleared the garage, but that day, after some time, Lily Bloom saw her father squeezing her mother's neck. She was angrier. She jumped to her father to get him away from her mother, but he threw that small child somewhere on the floor and just disappeared. She thought after this accident that her mother would call police, but she didn't. She instead told Lily to say that it was an accident. Lily was bleeding from her forehead and taken to hospital by her mother, while her father didn't even worry how they were. Next day, on the way to school, Atlas saw the mark of Lily on her forehead. He asked about her stitches on forehead, and Lily told him about his abusive father and how they were tolerating him. After some months, Atlas was going to live with his uncle. He was happy to go to his uncle as he would no longer have to live in the abandoned house with no electricity, no water. Both of them were happy as Atlas get to live in a well-furnished house comfortably. And also they were sad because his uncle's house was really far from where Lily lived. They could not meet, and Atlas left to his uncle. Lily had a birthday. Her mother tried everything to make her day special, but deep down she was meeting Atlas. At night that day she heard a tap on window. It was Atlas. She really got happy. She had sewed He had sewed up to make her birthday special. They were apart for months, so they talked, laughed, and hugged. They were really having great time together after months. On the excitement of seeing Atlas, Lily made a blunder mistake. She forgot to close the door of her room. Her father, on the other side of the door, was listening everything from outside. He entered the room and started beating Atlas. Atlas was beaten up to blood. Lily was numb. She saw Atlas covered up in a blood and police running inside her house. She could not breathe. This is when she got the first mini heart attack. And after that, she didn't know where Atlas went. Then the story jumped to Lily's father's death and her meeting up with Rel. Lily started floral shop in Boston with her co-worker Alicia, which was Rel's sister. Lily and Rel get closer by that time. They started loving each other deeply. Rel also started staying with Lily in her house. Once Rel and Lily get into argument and hurt each other. She got hurt on her forehead. Every time she sees an aggressive behavior of Rel, she used to remember her father abusing her mother. She was scared to be just like her mother. and thus Lily most of the time tried to compare her abusive father with Rel. But she every time made herself believe that somehow Rel is far better than her father. After the argument and getting hurt, the next day she went to meet her mother along with Rel. They went to the restaurant named Beep. Her mother and Rel introduced each other and were having good time. Lily went to washroom where she came across with Atlas, the one she had loved in school ages, the one whose name has filled up her journals. She was surprised. Lily was happy to see Atlas alive, and Atlas was on cloud nine seeing Lily. They hugged, and Lily said that she was there with her boyfriend, Rel, and Atlas said he had a girlfriend too. Atlas got her marks on forehead, the hurt that Rel gave her, and said her to leave Rel because he is not good for her. But Lily, being in love with Rel, tried to convince Atlas that he was good and that hurt on forehead was just an accident. In between the conversation of Atlas and Lily, Rel caught them both on a washroom. He again gets offended. Time passed by and Rel and Lily married each other. But Rel's anger was same. Lily used to get hurt even in small arguments. Their relationship were becoming worse due to Rel's impatient behavior. Seeing this, Alicia, Lily's co-worker and Rel's sister, tried to convince Lily about Rel's anger. Rel and his elder brother were playing in a room. Rel found a loaded gun. Being a kid, Rel was unknown that was a real and loaded gun. While playing, Rel shot his brother without knowing that he was using an original gun. This was the same naked truth that Rel has shared with Lily on their first meet. And by that accident, Rel had been impatient, angrier, and scared. He had got a lot of treatments for that. Lily somehow tried to get them. Rel used to show Lily how much he loved her. He used to love Lily very much than she could even imagine, but he used to get angry on very small matters. Once, Lily's floral shop was listed in Boston's top business, and Rel get to study in abroad. That was their biggest achievement. Lily's achievement was posted in newspaper. Along with that, Rel found out one more thing on newspaper, and that was at last secret of being successful businessman, where he mentioned Lily indirectly. This caused Rel impatience. He tried to be intimate with Lily and hurt her. Lily was hurt badly. She could not resist. She ran away from Rel. She was scared. She had nowhere to go. And she thought of Atlas, a safest place. And here, Atlas' house was always open for her. She went to Atlas. She was hurt physically, so Atlas took her to hospital, where she found out she was pregnant. She was not really ready to accept that. She could only compare Rel with her abusive father. She was scared how she will raise that child with Rel. She stayed at Atlas' house and asked Atlas if she could stay there for some days before she figured out what to do. In those days, she found out that Atlas had no any girlfriend. She was in dilemma. Why did Atlas say that he had a girlfriend when they first meet at restaurant? Rel went abroad to study, and Lily thought of going home. Lily went to mother and said everything about Rel. She told her mother that she was pregnant. Her mother was happy, but listening about Rel and Lily's relationship, she was upset. She was scared that her daughter would have to pass the same journey she had with her husband. So she said her to get divorced because as long as she hold on pain with a simple sorry, every time the line will get crossed and she could not step out of it. So her mother suggested her to better get off from the situation zone. Rel's Rel come back. Rel came back from abroad, where Lily told him about her pregnancy, and she also asked him for a divorce. He was not ready. He was confused. He was scared to lose Lily. He tried every single thing to convince her, but she denied. And finally, Lily gave birth to a daughter, and Lily and Rel got separated. This was good for her daughter and Lily herself. Rel loved his daughter so much more than Lily's father used to love her. Lily was happy for her daughter and also for herself. They were happy. Lily was happy. Her daughter was happy, and Rel was happy to meet them once in a full moon. One day, when Lily was taking her daughter to Rel, she met Atlas on the way. They shared things about each other. At last get to know about Lily's and Rel relationship and their daughter. Listening to this, Atlas offered Lily to be with him for the rest of his life, where Lily accepted to be with him. Well, I saw the title, It Ends With Us, as a break in a chain of abusive father. Lily ended the chain of unhappy family and relationship. She ended it with sacrificing her love. She didn't become like her mother. So it ended up. And the story ends to Lily and Atlas being together all again, and this time more happily. Thank you.